Hi, everybody. I just wanted to hop in quick before today's episode to remind you that we are doing a giveaway of 6 months of Realms Plus subscription. All you gotta do is subscribe and leave a comment. The more comments, the more chances you have to win. See our community tab for the full rules and conditions of the contest. And with that, let's get on with today's episode. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Shifted Reality, Season 2, Episode 34. Wait, is that right? Episode 34. I think that's right. Wow. This season has been going a lot faster and a lot longer than I thought it would, and we are doing so much, and there's still so much left to do. Now, we haven't really been checking in on our shops lately. We've almost neglected them because there hadn't been too many sales in a while. Most people are pretty well established and aren't needing replacement armor as often as they used to. But, as you may have just seen, we did have quite a few sales, including selling out all of our bottles of enchanting again for a grand total of 21 new sales. I mean, that's not too bad. Granted, the majority of them were from the bottles of enchantment and a few books that I've added to our fish market, but otherwise we are doing pretty good at maintaining our general shop efficiency, and everything is kind of quiet in the shopping district lately. Nothing really happening. I know we had that whole HOA versus SOA war going on, but that's kind of petered out and relaxed at where it was. We haven't had much of any notice from them lately, ever since they tried to rebrand into a more friendly and helpful design with their blue banners instead of their more questionable choices they originally had. But that's where that happened. I don't know if that is ever going to come into further play in any future episode. So why don't we head back to our village base and see what more we can do in enhancing and moving forward. Now, in our last episode, we tried to add some life to our harbor by creating another one of our sailboats, but this time putting it at full sail, complete with the waving sails and the waves splashing along the hull. And I think we achieved a pretty good look for that. So this time we're going to kind of continue on that trend a little bit. Now, one of my goals this season was to get better at my nether portal. And whilst we definitely improved our interior or overworld side of it, our netherworld side has much to be wanting. Let's pop over real quick and take a look. See, this side is just a plain ice road in a kind of an ugly netherrack tunnel. And I think we can definitely do better on this side as well. We just have to keep in mind that we have Real's base down there and the trial chamber down that way that we don't want to cut off access for. So overall, we're going to do a little bit of an improvement and maybe bring some animated Buildstone life to this as well. And in addition to improving our nether tunnel, we also need to work on this part here because this path is supposed to join on this area up here. As you can see, this is still part of the original vanilla path, which we are still trying to follow to connect. Same with right here. I mean, it thinks this road should go from up here straight to there, and obviously that can't happen. So we need to get this whole section reconnected in our quest to get up to the very tippy top of our mountain and get all of our villages reconnected. And we're getting so close to reaching the top of this village, so definitely want to achieve part of our goal of improving the village and making it all traversable without needing to parkour up a mountain. So aside from having the general idea of using this structure here as the basis of the architecture for our nether portal on the nether side, I really don't know what to do too much with this. I don't have a firm plan in mind. So that said, the first thing that we have to do is make sure we have room to decorate something. And so I've been carving out a lot of the space around our portal and kind of using the other portals that are in close proximity to us as kind of a guideline for what we're doing, other than having the overall space cleared out here. We also put in this kind of wrap around that's roughly circular. I say roughly circular because I keep finding spots that are slightly off. My count just didn't line up right or something. But otherwise, with all of this cleared out, this will allow us to at least have space to work with and start developing into a better nether portal chamber for our overall base design. Okay, so I have an idea of something I can do in this area, and I think it'll look good. Only problem is I don't have what I need. And what I need is from a very dangerous place I haven't been to since episode 2. It should be just over this hill. But if I get in quick and get out quick, I should be able to pull it off. Come on. Alright, here we go. In and out. Alright, set my spawn just in case. This is what I need. As long as I don't accidentally summon a warden, I should be fine. Alright, 6 Sculk Sensors, that should be enough. Now let's get out of here before a warden shows up and we die. No, don't die. Alright, 6 sensors, that should be enough for what I need. And I didn't die. And we're safely back. Just as soon as I set my spawn, we will be completely locked in. Oof. That had me worried. But it will be worth it if I can get this to work the way I want it to work. So wish me luck. We are going to do some redstone. Okay, so this isn't quite working for me. The goal was to create a gravity-powered hipster door, and however, this is how it should look when it's down. And this is how it should look when it's up. But the problem is when we try to put it back down. Turn it back off. It's supposed to come back down and be completely flat and flush again with the level of the ice. But we are obviously having a few issues here. And I know the issue is something to do with the power sequence. Yeah, now this is completely out of sync. I need someone smarter than me on Redstone to come in and give me a solution, because it's these sequences that are out of sync that is causing all my problems. Hold while I try and get Red online to solve my problem for me. So I don't know why it wasn't working the first time, but I do know which one wasn't working. So I just changed or added in how I was going to trigger it. And so this one, when we have this fired down, we're going to send a signal into this one as well at the same time as we send the signal into the middle ones. So that seems to have fixed that on this side. However, on this side, which we kind of had a similar thing, but it was an observer looking down that would be triggered off of this redstone signal here powering, suddenly stopped working and was giving me a different set of errors. And again, I don't know why. So I just changed it to trigger the same way as the other side. Just when these ones drop, signal comes into this observer, which comes to this observer, which fires this one to pull down that piston. And it seems to be working. For a while, it was actually still leaving this one up, but that solved itself, and I don't know why or how. But if it's not broke, I'm not going to fix it. I'm not going to obsess over it unless if it breaks again. And no, I did not get Red to come in here to save my day again, but, you know, hopefully he'll be impressed. Leave a comment down below if you have any idea what the problem might be that causes this to maybe occasionally break, but not necessarily break all the time. And now, thanks to the wonders of the Sculk Sensors, as you walk up to the piston, it goes down, and you walk past, and it'll go back up. An automatic gravity-powered hipster door completed. Now that we have our triangular door up and functional, even though we haven't put in any of the decorative elements around it, it's time to put in a few animated features. You know, we got to get that Buildstone je ne sais quoi, as it were. And, well, look at this scrappy guy moved right on in. This was the first idea we had. We're in the Nether. We should animate with lava. And so we have this lava flow that comes on and comes off. Maybe I only really needed the lava distribution at the top. I was expecting more of a chunk sort of thing, but, you know, this works. This works. However, on this side, you notice it turned off, and I kind of see that in a few other places here. It's like here, over here, it's off. Over here, it's off. What about over here? Over here, it's still running. Kind of see the little thunk, thunk, thunk. Over here? Oh, wait, that one's still running. Running and off. So, yeah, pretty inconsistent. I mean, both of them are on here, but that one's off. Both of them are off over here, but this one is on. Not any consistent pattern as to what turns it on and off. So we will need to just incorporate... What the heck was that? It's like a... There's baby Enderman now? Why have I never known there's baby Enderman? What? I'm honestly flabbergasted. I did not know they existed. Anyway, so in order to solve this, we definitely need to put in something that will allow us to trigger this. Maybe periodically if it's ever off and we want it back on. Just so that, you know, in case our loading turns it off. Because, I mean, as you can see, Endermen are turning our doors on and off as well, so. Downside of using Sculk Sensors is, unless if you can 100% mob-proof the area, they will be triggered. But at least that guy's happy. So we're going to put in a few more decorative elements that are intended to add some animation to the overall looks, but we are not really sure where we're going to go with any of this. I just want to get the animated parts in first, and then we can come back and consider what we're going to do as far as the general decoration of everything. One thing I can say is this area is going to be left open. We're not putting in those Sculk sensor doors on all aspects of it, just in case they get a little too annoying for, coming around this way. They can always just circle around. Okay, I think I have a good idea for how to turn on the lava flows if they accidentally turn off on me again in the future. But I need some blackstone buttons, so I'm going to head to the shopping district to get those. Alright, this has not been my first time coming back here for supplies. I've actually been buying quite a bit from Guild just for this project here. But I think he should have some blackstone. Oh, there you go. Oh, 2 stacks for 1 diamond. That's pretty good. Drop off yet another payment. Wait. What the heck? What's going on with the HOA building? No trespassing private property? Oh, come on, like that's ever stopped me before. I'll just jump over the fence here. And, wow, even the doors are boarded up. What the heck? This is crazy. What's this book that we have here? Frostbite halls where silence clings. There sleeps a lord with shattered wings. Oh my god, this is so terrible. Came with snow and steel to bend the structure to wheel. Shop stood firm. Well, that is true. We did not give in to him without a fight. Cast himself in an endless sleep. What the heck? Ow. Has this always been down here? Or is this all new? Current status, days past, unchanged. 94 days and 4 hours? Wake me when you need me. Okay, I don't know. Hello, bias. Let's see, do I need to break him out of there? Am I going to, like, break a bunch of stuff if I break this glass? How do I wake him? What?
What are you doing down here? Is it next season?
Next season? No, man, we still gotta finish this season.
Wait. It's all the same. Why did you wake me up?
What the heck have you been doing in here?
Well, everybody seemed to hate me because I kept telling them how horrible their shops looked, so I decided I'm just going to fall asleep until next season, and then maybe it'll be better again.
Yeah, that hasn't happened yet.
Oh, for goodness. Well, I'm glad you didn't hit the override. That's a very good thing.
Override? Emergency override, do not press. What happens if I press it? I want to press it. Can I press it?
No.
I want to press it.
Don't you dare.
I might press it. I pressed it.
No.
Oh, jeez!
go back to sleep because you've destroyed my chamber.
Okay, well, that was kind of a crazy interaction with Bias, but hopefully that means he's back and we'll have a new episode by the time this episode airs or shortly thereafter. Now let's get back to our own issue of enhancing our portal on the nether side. So as we come through here into the door, you can see that we have the lava flow, the door's up, and the movement of the chains. And we ended up using iron chains with the interspersing of the copper lightning rods just to make sure that you can easily see the motion that is happening. Although once we have copper chains, we may come back and replace them with some different oxidize options just to get the look of the chains moving in more ways than just the copper, so that in this point when they're fully submerged you can still easily see the motion and the shifting color patterns. And we have it moving on both sides, and you notice we're keeping it moving in opposite angles. That's just to help establish the feel that this is all just a big mechanical system that feeds everything. And now that we have our general animation going on between the lava flows and our motion of the chains raising and lowering, let us get to work on decorating everything here. Now, much like my overworld side of my portal has elements that remind me of the nether, it was kind of important to me to put in elements that remind me of the overworld on the nether side. So here we brought in the green grass of the overworld, and here we framed out our moving chains just to give the sense of the rising and lowering chambers that it would be going through in order to help establish the grounded feel of the element so that it does have that larger machine quality to it. Now the next thing I want to take care of is one of my biggest pet peeves is when you go through a portal, if you are going through it and when you get to the other side you're suddenly, face up against a wall and you have to turn around. That always bothers me, and it kind of drives me nuts that not more people think about the facing of their portal when they come through it. Like Real's portal here, he set it up at the angle, but when you go through it, you have to actually turn 90 degrees in order to actually exit the other side, and vice versa when you're coming through on this way. So, well, it doesn't really seem to bother him, so we'll let his portal be, but mine, I want to make sure it's so you can only go through the portal in the direction that will be the same as when you exit it on the overworld side. So we're going to kind of frame out this portal a little bit and cover up the backside to help establish that better sense of a completed portal where you're just walking through it from one side to the other. Okay, so I know I said I was done with the animations elements for now, but I couldn't really help myself. These flowing droppers of lava just weren't quite capturing what I wanted them to capture. So I added in these waves of lava. Very similar to how we did the waves of water against our ship. And I am loving how this is turning out. Now we just gotta mirror that side into this tunnel, and we will be halfway done with our nether portal chamber. Okay, we're really starting to run out of time here, but we have our flowing lava river in our next tunnel. Now what we need to do is we need to make this portal make sense in the grander scheme of the design. I mean, the central portal is one thing, but it needs to solve for why there's only a portal in one of the four corners. And the simplest solution kind of goes back to our overworld side. So let's pop over here and take a look. So just like here where the Frosthaven Cove had discovered this, and there was 4 portals, but only one of them was a working portal to another dimension. Well, maybe it's the same way in the Nether. Maybe this used to be more directions or more connections to different parts of the world, but they have since kind of closed up, and only a few are remaining as active. So what we're going to do is we're going to mimic this and put fake portals here and on the other side, just to make it look like there was a portal here at one point, but now they're just inactive. Okay, I'm starting to work down to the wire here. So where we're getting at here is, in order to kind of capture that double portal effect, what I did was put in these fake portals using the polished blackstone and the purple stained glass. And with multiple layers, it kind of looks like maybe it was, it's just not properly functioning at the moment. And then I similarly mirrored it on these 2 sides here. The pathway in between, I purposefully kind of narrowed it down and made it pretty tight to get through. And that is with the whole idea of this being inside of a big machine that is operating and running everything. And this way, you kind of get this kind of like cramped maintenance tunnel sort of feel as you're walking through different pipes and gizmos are adjourning the walls, and you kind of just got to squeeze your way through when you need to. And otherwise, you come into the room where the big motion is happening. You got the lava flowing mechanisms and everything else that's just going on. It just keeps moving. Everything has that nether lava powered life. And similarly, to capture in more nether type bricks, we pulled in the warped wood, or the warped stems or logs or whatever they're called. And the purpose and reason why I pulled these in is because if you look closely, they do have that little shifting glow. Almost like this is like a living wire of the mechanics of everything else that's going on down here. Where it's subtle, but it's just enough there that it just feels like this whole thing is pulsing and moving with a life of its own, a biomechanical life, as it were. So we have our shifting pendulums here with the counterweights going up and down. We have the pulsing life through the floors that you're walking on. And that's really taking us where we need to go. And we just got a few more things. We got to finish up our walls, decide what exactly we're doing for a ceiling in there, and then our nether portal is finally going to be done. What do you think how it's coming so far? Leave a comment down below. Okay, we are just under the wire, so let's take a look at what we have created here. As you come up, our door opens, and it will close behind us automatically. And now we have a little flowing lava up and down our tunnels here. And this was just to try and get a functional design of our overall power source. Everything here should be fueled and powered by lava. And oops, I left my stone cutter behind. That will not be staying there. But then, just like a lot of the overworld portals, it feels like the nether is spilling out into the overworld. In this case, we're trying to capture the overworld spilling back into the nether. And that's why we put in the grass. And we went ahead and bone milled everything just to help give it that life. And here we see another aspect of our giant machine where we're having the pistons pulling and cranking the chains up and down. I can't wait till the copper age when we can swap these out with different shades of oxidized copper chain, and that will help keep the motion looking like it's moving at all times. And then our side portal, which leads over to our friend Real's base, we have not only the continuation of the lava power sources, but ever so subtly, if you can look at the ground, you see the pulsing of the warped wood. And it almost gives it this is kind of like an organic circuitry that's in the floor that's running through, complete with a tight little service passageway to get to the back rooms in this case. Similarly, for symmetry, we have the fake portals or the disengaged portals, the portals that maybe used to lead to somewhere, but this has been so old and long they no longer go anywhere. And we have our little pipes coming down from the ceilings, as well as the flowing lava on this side as well. And one of the things I did to try and capture the transition from the grass to the stone to the nether is normally I would use the mossy bricks as a means of tracking where water has flowed in the past. But in this case, we're just trying to give an idea of where the life has overcome and continued to expand and spread from inside our overworld to our nether, as well as adding in various vines for that additional feel of it. And then when you come into the back end, we have more of that flowing wavy lava. For this, we actually used a very similar technique as to what was done with our boat challenge, where we use the observers and the dispensers to kind of create that wave of water. Now we're trying to use it to create a wave of lava that is flowing through and is what is helping feed our overall lava system. Ultimately, the spread of the overworld does eventually end as you get into the nether, and this is something that we can always come back and reassess if we want to continue this any further. But for right now, we're mainly focusing on the machine, the nether machine that is powering us a portal to other worlds and other dimensions. This is where we're at. So overall, what do you think? Is this a functional portal design? Is this a impressive build of expanding a portal beyond just the simple black obsidian with the purple swirls? Let me know in the comments down below what you think of the overall design. And as always, do come back and see us next week on the next episode of Shifted Reality. I kind of feel like we forgot something. Was there something else we were supposed to do in this episode? Yeah, we can't remember. It can't be that important, right? Comment below if you remember what it was. Bye, everybody.